love, lust, and discernment of the spirits. So this message is not about the dynamics of different types of relationships. I'm not going into that. I'm trying to help you understand how discerning the spirits is so crucial to your emotional health and mental health. Okay, and actually safety. We are in Proverbs 5, verse 18. And it says, "Let your wife be a fountain of blessings for you. Rejoice in the wife of your youth. She is a loving doe, a graceful deer. Let her breasts satisfy you always. May you always be captivated by her." The point of that passage is to let you know that if you're married, be passionate about your wife, your spouse, whoever your spouse may be. Be passionate about them where you don't have to find temptation in different arenas and different people, co-workers, people you come across in your travels where you feel like your relationship is so crappy that you need to go outside the marriage or outside your relationship. And let's see what God says about love. Now let's go to Hebrews 13:4. And because as long as you are in a relationship, you want to understand that love is pure. So now for married couples, if married couples are very passionate, and it says make love often with your partner, you're not supposed to deprive your partner. And I think that's where a lot of relationships start going south, because they start engaging in temptation. A thought becomes temptation. A temptation becomes an action. So making love is not just about procreating. God's saying in Genesis 1:27 that he wants man to not be alone. Man and woman, just in case you just tuned in, man and woman are not meant to be alone. We are meant to have companionship, and companionship leads into deep love and a forever partner.
All love eye candy. We all love eye candy. Everybody loves a good-looking person. But some of us take it to another level. It's nice to go and be around people your age group and interact and talk about different things. But if you're in a relationship, some things are off the board to talk about. And like I said, I'm not here to judge. I just want you to have discernment of the spirits. So when you're in the midst of people, you can figure out what people are trying to do. So let's say you're a married person and you're hanging out with your best friend and you go into a club. Now you're in this really good relationship. There's nothing wrong with your relationship, but you go into a club. And now you see somebody that looks like, eye candy, okay? We'll keep it clean and whatever. So you see someone that now you're lusting. Now, you just had a passionate night with your spouse the night before. That was Thursday. Now it's Friday. Now you're in the club. And you see someone that you are just, your eyeballs are popping out of your head because, you're salivating in the whole nine, okay? But that's where the temptation comes in. And that's what you have to learn to discern the spirits, because that's probably, I'm not saying all the time 100%, but if you're lusting, now you have a sex demon that just entered your mind space. And it's a sex demon, pure and simple. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It's a sex demon that has now taken hold of you. And now you, male or female, now you see something that you want to conquer. Okay, so you see this person, you get the number, one thing leads to a next, leads to a next. Next thing you know, you don't go home the next day because you're somewhere with this person from the club. Now you had a night of passion.
We're going to fast forward. Your attitude starts changing, one toward your spouse. And now you have this person, this additional person that interfered in your relationship. Maybe you told them you were married, maybe you didn't. Maybe they were a good spirit, maybe they weren't. But that's where discernment comes in. You need to be able to be so in tune with God that you can tell what's happening to you in that moment, in your mind space, and who this person is approaching you. Is this a good spirit or is this a demon? Okay? Because there are sex demons. So you want to be able to know by their body behavior, by the conversation you had, not reading people, because some people think that you can read somebody coming in the room, oh, they just want sex. That's possible. To also be able to discern, is this a demon coming after me because I'm in a really good relationship? Is this somebody trying to infiltrate my relationship? And so that's where discernment is very different from just reading somebody coming into your space, a lonely person or this person or that person. Because most people, when you try to read somebody, you're off anyway. But celibacy, oh my God, celibacy, everything about celibacy agitates and disturbs the minds of modern people. There are people in the Bible who were celibate, and Jesus was one of them. Some people say he was hanging out with Mary Magdalene and they have a kid, and all of that. But until that is proven, that means you're just reading the person because he was hanging out with her. Your mindset is telling you, they slept together. But that's not really what the story is about. The story is about this woman, Mary Magdalene, who was one of Jesus' biggest supporters. A passage about celibacy on 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 7. Now, where can you turn in the midst of temptation? So here's some passages regarding temptation. You can grab a pen. So on lust, you have 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. Then you have the book of James, chapter 1, verses 12 to 13, and James, chapter 4, verses 7. And you can also look in Hebrews 2:18, that with discernment, sex demons and some of these demons that you just sleep with, they do leave an imprint on you. Sometimes you may feel drained after hanging out with this additional person. You might feel very drained, like something was taken from you, like a vampire sucked all your blood out of your body. So those are sex demons, and they will extract everything from you. They are specifically there to feed your lust. And if it's not them, there'll be a whole line of more of them. And the Bible does say, one bad demon left, and 7 worse than him entered the person. So they do, after one, then another one, then another one, then another one, then you have some sort of an addiction to sex. And they're always available. Wherever you go, you'll always find one. And so whatever your weakness is in general becomes the magnetic temptation in your life. Okay, so whatever it is, drugs, sex, pornography, whatever it is, that magnet is a demon and now is just attached to you. Literally, it's attached to you like a sticky note. You have demons attached to you, and all they do is temptation, lust, pornography, cheating. That's what they do. They attach themselves to you. So how do you dominate bad thoughts with good thoughts? Well, you practice living a life that Jesus has outlined, because whether people believe it or not, this is our manual for living. Just like your car manual, this is our manual for your family, for your kids, for everyone, for love, for sex, for temptation, whatever it is, it can be addressed in here some kind of way. So practice living out the scripture, okay? And that's one thing you can do. You can put yourself in a circle of people, start embracing people like the mind you want to be. Now, the church is filled with sinners, so let's not say we'll go to church, because church is filled with sinners. Church is an emergency room for sinners. So you do see women coming in there with skirts way up high, and you do see guys staring at you while they're sitting with their wives. You do see all of that because it is an emergency room for sinners. So don't use church as a place to go and find your perfect person. If you like books, go to a library. Look for people in the environment that you like. And that's how you find like-minded people. Now, I did get that question. And also, look at Romans 15:7, because God does forgive us, okay? So don't feel like your world is now ending because you cheated or you sinned or you slept with a person randomly. Your life is not over. You know, I'm a human too, and move on. But the longer you attach yourself to random people, that's how many demons are inside of you now. And those people will continue to contact. Learn discernment of spirit. Final thought. To reiterate that in the Bible, not everyone is meant to be married and not everyone is meant to be single. That doesn't mean you have to be celibate for the rest of your life. And I know I'm going to get flack for that. But the point is the more random you become, engaging with people, entering your temple, those chances are very high of absorbing spirits that are not good. And light and dark cannot dwell in the same place. And that's where all the confusion, the anger, the breakups, and the upset comes. That's where all your drama starts, because you let someone enter your temple that was not worthy. Bye-bye.